Good morning, welcome back to my channel. I'm Joel Kellen, and today all I'm gonna do is gonna be painting a nightstand. Now this is like a prototype nightstand. It was made out of 3 different woods, so I was suggested to just paint over it instead of like actually doing any wood finish. So that's what I'm going to do. I've already put in a little bit of wood filler prior to this video, so right now I'm just waiting about an hour or two for it to get done. But once it gets time for me to actually paint it, that's when I'll start recording like the actual. That's when I'll like actually start recording myself doing it. So I'll see you guys in a few seconds. Right, so I got all the painting done, and I decided that I'm gonna have this like wood trim on the edges of it so that it'll match my desk. But first, before I gotta glue it on, I gotta sand down the edges first, and then I'm gonna glue these trimmings on. I already got them cut. So once I got the sanding done, I'm just gonna glue it on and then put on some finish on the wood. That way it matches the oak edges of my desk up in my room. Speaking of sanding, I'm gonna be doing the same thing that I'm doing here to the Jason mask that I'm eventually going to be making. I'm either gonna be using like this exact like sanding tool, or I'm gonna be doing something very similar. So once I'm done with this nightstand, ultimately, then I'm gonna finally move on to that Jason mask that I mentioned earlier in the Michael Myers video. Right, so while I'm waiting for the finish to be, well, finished, drying, as a little bit of aside, I'm gonna be painting that little ring right there on my desk. Now, this is my own screw up, where back during my Michael Myers video, I wasn't exactly using common sense, and I tried to use Gorilla Glue on that fabric that I eventually used to black out the eye holes. And, well, you can see the result from that. So, this shouldn't really take long, maybe about, I don't know, a minute, maybe 2. But it'll keep me busy before I get back to the nightstand. Okay, so I just finished sanding all of these pieces down, and so now I'm gonna end up putting the stain on here. It's traditional cherry. That's the closest thing I found to look like my desk. So I'm gonna apply that on here, then wait a few hours. I've actually already done it with 3 of the 6 pieces that I'm gonna be gluing onto here. So I'm just gonna be showing it for the final 3 pieces, and then I'll be one step closer for this thing to be done. Alright, so I got the staining done with all of them. So now I'm gonna have to wait 2, maybe 3 hours for it all to dry. Once that's done, I can finally put on the coats of poly. And then after that, I should be able to just glue it onto the nightstand, and then I'll be done. Can't wait for this thing to be over, because I've been doing this one for the past week or so, it feels like I'm getting closer to it being finished. So, I actually fucked up when I was putting on the clear coat. I used the wrong polyurethane. What I should have done was I should have used this one. I'm not entirely sure what the difference was, but it doesn't matter. Point is, I screwed up, so now instead of sanding this down later, I have to sand down the pieces now, and then I have to put a coat of that polyurethane on right afterwards. Second coat is done, and gonna have to wait for that stuff to dry overnight again. Son of a... So until then, really all I gotta do is wait. You know, the old hurry up and wait thing. Alright, so I'm on the final coat of the wood pieces, and this time I'm doing it a little bit differently than how I did last time, where I was using a brush. This time I'm using like a dry rag with the wood finish, and really that's all there is to it. That's gonna be the final coat to this, and once that's done, I think that we'll be able to finally glue it all on. And the best part about that is that unlike the other 2 coats, I didn't even need to use sandpaper to sand down the rough edges, because these pieces here were already smooth enough as it is. So all I really gotta do now is just use the wood finish that was in that little container, and just put the clear coat on there. So let's get started. Alright, so I finally got this done. I do kind of wish that it didn't take as long, but with everything happening, like I'm just starting school up again, and I had to repair my car, and just a bunch of other stuff going on. I'm just glad I finally got this thing finished. I think it turned out really great. Looks really nice. Actually, holds up really well. Matches with the rest. So, I already got a few ideas on what I'm gonna use it for. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna use it to hold a few things that like won't fit on my bookshelf or in my desk or anything. But I'm also thinking on probably using this to set up where my computer is going to be, because one thing I'd like to do is start streaming. I've kind of already done that. Where at the time of this recording, I'm currently uploading my gameplay videos of Resident Evil Village. In fact, right next to the tripod, I'm uploading the 5th part of the gameplay, the one with the Lycan Stronghold. But all those videos, I don't actually show my face, and I kind of like to actually show my face on those streams, like how people normally do. And I'm probably going to be using my green screen for that. That way I can just take out the excess background so that it's just myself with the rest of the video gameplay in the background. But so far, those are just thoughts, and that's it for me. This project is finished. The next project I'm going to do is I am going to be working on that Jason Voorhees hockey mask. When I'm going to get to it, I'm not sure, because again, school just started up again. But other than that, that's really it.